we've been traveling together, and you might say that my friend Flo here and I are babysitting.
Wait, there's kids around? What? Who are you babysitting? I didn't know we were bringing kids on this trip.
As I was saying, and I'll just kind of like gesture at Orlo.
And he's like, come on.
Where are we going?
He goes, oh, you haven't been here before, right? Sorry. He kind of walks over, and he he walks over to like one of the walls, and just kind of like he reaches onto it, like he grabs the stone and just kind of moves the whole wall out. It's just like a piece of board, it looks like, that has just stones on it, and there's a stairwell that goes down.
Oh, down there.
How clever.
Keeps it safe.
50. So, do you think I'll fit?
You'll be fine.
Okay.
So, are you guys just gonna leave them out front?
Yeah.
Well,
sir.
you barred the door behind us, didn't you?
Yeah. Sir, our friends are outside. Should we go get them? Because we could definitely bring them with us. Elladan's interested. With more people, we might be able to pull whatever we have together and maybe buy more instead of getting more trips.
I don't give a shit.
Oh.
All right. Orlo, I'll go grab them. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Do I have any problem like getting the door back open?
No, it's literally just a bar that kind of crosses over the door.
Okay, then I'll just head back out and like poke my head out of the alleyway. Guys, I think we found whatever it is that you two are looking for.
And I excitedly, tell Flo that we need to go follow them, and then I start running over.
Just this way. And I'll start leading the way.
I'll follow behind. Sure, look real shady. Morals come into question and make sure nobody follows me. I'm getting kind of nervous. Wow. I'm a Warforged, but this could get me discharged. This is crazy. So he's gonna follow along, yeah.
So you guys go ahead and make your way down the alleyway, back into the building, and then down. It's like a U-shaped stairwell that kind of goes down. So you make your way down the stairs and into this big open room. And it's set up very similarly to what the Blind Boar was, in terms of like tables and chairs and just a big bar. And there's not a ton of people in here. There's maybe at most just a quick count, like 8 to 10 people. But they're all kind of sitting at this bar, kind of facing where the bartender is. And none of them are talking. Nobody's really moving. They're all just kind of sitting there, like rocking back and forth, just hanging out. Everyone's waving a spoon back and forth.
Elladan, look, they know about the spoons.
This is the place.
They know.
The guy, the bartender sees you guys come down. He's like, "Oh, come on, come down, have a seat."
Is he just like a human?
Appearance-wise, it seems so. Yes.
Okay. No, the other guy was not.
Yeah, no, he's just a human. From, like I said, from appearance, he looks very normal.
Friend of Glenvin?
I've met a few times.
Yeah, he kind of sent us over here, so yeah, we're new. So what do you guys have here?
All means and manner of different things. What exactly are you looking for?
I mean, I'm hurting a little bit right now. We just kind of took out some bandits down the way, so anything that would, kill some of this pain I got. Preferably natural, nothing kind of chemical. Just saying, like, we got this powder from Glenvin, and it's good, but not quite what I need right now.
Right. That makes sense. And you see him kind of like turn around, and there's just some like bottles and flasks and all kinds of stuff like up on like where the liquor would be in a bar. And he kind of pulls a few of them down and starts kind of mixing them a little bit, and pouring some stuff in, and he slides over to you. It looks like just like a normal drink, and kind of it's a liquid. It's a strange color, has a strange smell, but he slides it over to you and goes, "I think that should take care of you."
Cool. What exactly is this going to do?
All manner of things, as a matter of fact, but it'll definitely make you stop hurting.
Good enough for me. I just grab it and take it back.
So as soon as you kind of throw this back, he kind of reaches out a hand and goes, "Nice to meet you. Welcome, guys. This is my place. My name's Eric Pace."
Aha. Did you say Pace?
My name.
Good to know. That what you just gave me wasn't too bad. What would you say your top seller here is?
Oh, I mean, we make all kinds of fun and interesting mixtures, but we like to keep people just nice and relaxed. So, whatever they need, we provide. We don't have anything in particular that sticks out, if you will.
Good enough. Any of you guys want anything?
I could do with something.
So, what can I get for you?
I want to go on what some people would call a trip.
Do we want to go to the stars? Do we want to go to
Stars?
I can make that happen. And before he turns around and starts mixing things again, he grabs two cups and fills them with water and slides them over to the two of you. He goes, "You don't seem quite like you're in the right place, but I promise you this is completely safe." And he turns around and starts mixing some things again, some powders and some liquids, and concocts this interesting little drink and slides it over to you. Says, "This should do the."
All right. I just gulp it. Just take it down.
Guys, I know I was having fun before, but I think we should probably keep an eye on him from here on out.
How am I feeling?
You're good for the moment.
Okay.
For the moment.
For the
Go ahead and
moment.
roll a Constitution check for me.
11.
Okay. And Orlo, go ahead and actually do the same for me, please.
What am I rolling?
A Constitution
Constitution.
Constitution check.
saving throw.
Throw. This is.
So, sorry, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
So Flo and Laya, he kind of, after he slides the drink over to Elladan, he turns to you two and he goes, "Can I get you guys anything other than just water? We have plenty of other things, and I promise you they will not be dangerous to you in any way."
Actually, I was rather liking that that mead that we had at the tavern. If you've any of that.
Sure, I can get that for you. And he looks and turns to you, Flo, and he goes, "Anything for you?"
Water will do.
Very well.
I don't know how to approach this situation.
Orlo, what did you roll on your Constitution saving throw?
5.
Solid.
Oh no.
So he turns around, pours the mead, and slides it over to you, Laya.
Okay, and I'll just grab it and do a kind of nod and cheers and take a small sip.
So, you guys are new here. What can I help you with? I know that I helped them, but you're all here together. Usually there's some common denominator.
Well, we've been traveling together, and you might say that my friend Flo here and I are babysitting.
Wait, there's kids around? What? Who are you babysitting? I didn't know we were bringing kids on this trip.
As I was saying, and I'll just kind of like gesture at Orlo.
Me? Are you talking about me?
Yes, Orlo, I'm talking about you.
Oh, all right, man. Jeez.
And I'm gonna go babies in space.
And that would make Orlo the oldest child.
So, Flo, I don't know if you could guess this about me, but when I was growing up, I was a bit of a prankster. And do you remember that story that I told you all last night and what I showed you?
Not knowing where this is going. Yeah.
What do you say we have a bit of fun?
Leans in, very interested. He goes, "Oh, I love fun."
Flo was just like, I am not the platoon leader. You do as you like.
I also lean in and say, "Fun? I like fun."
All right, Orlo. All you have to do is close your eyes for 10 seconds. Close your eyes, count to 10.
Easy enough. I close my eyes and start counting. 1.
So while his eyes are closed, I'm gonna use shape changer and turn myself into a Loxodon.
Okay.
So as he gets to 5, Eric just starts laughing, and he turns and looks and goes, "Oh, I love fun."
What are you guys doing? What's so funny?
And also turns into a Loxodon.
What?
What's happening? What's going on out there?
What's going on out there? And he looks at Laya and just goes shh as Orlo hits 10.
And then I just open my
Laya
eyes.
Yeah, I'll be sitting there, just for your reference, Orlo. I'm just gonna be sitting there with my head resting on my, I don't know, what do you call it for elephants? My hoof.
Loxodon still have hands, I think.
They do.
Okay. Well,
they have fingies.
Well, then just head resting on my hand.
How would he have used the staff?
And so is Eric. He's like mimicking her on the opposite side. Just
like the same form, or
just a Loxodon form
okay.
of sorts.
Okay. Whoa. Where did you two come from? And where is my friend? And where is Pace?
Oh, I presume your friends are around here somewhere.
Must be. Couldn't have gone far.
Did you see them leave? And how did you even get here? I haven't seen a Loxodon since we showed up.
A Loxodon?
Yeah, that's
Orlo, it's me, it's Laya. What are you talking about?
what?
It's me, it's Laya. And
No,
Pace,
no,
Pace
no,
is right next
no,
to me.
Don't believe her. She's a liar.
He didn't have his eyes closed. And Laya is way smaller. And she, yeah, no. And Pace, he's not that. That's, I don't. Where are my friends?
I don't know what it is that Pace gave you, but it's me, it's Laya. I just got you Bonebreaker today. It's me.
Did you kidnap my friends? Are you torturing them somewhere?
I'm just sitting in a booth and lowering my cap over my eyes.
Where is Laya?
I'm going to sleep.
And Pace is going to turn himself back into his normal form.
Oh, Magic Man, whatever you gave me was good.
I promised that it would make you stop hurting.
Doing a lot more than not hurting.
And Laya, I'll go ahead and change back into my regular human-looking form.
Oh, you're back. There was a Loxodon here like just a couple seconds ago.
Don't say.
You just missed her.
What a shame.
It is. I haven't seen another one like, oh, there was another one too where Pace was. So.
Are you sure that's not just the drugs talking?
Maybe. I'll get back to you on that one. So, Pace,
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
so what would you say it is you do around here besides run this bar?
Mostly just run this bar. Do some trading here and there, but, you know, nothing too crazy. Just enough to keep the roof above our head.
And hidden away?
I mean, that's part of it, isn't it?
I feel like, I mean, there has to be something else. I mean, the blind boar is right out in the open. Why do you have to tuck this place away? I mean, other than the obvious reasons, it feels like there's something else going on here to help sustain this place.
I do some trading in some different materials, I suppose, if you will. But again,
I mean, have you come across anything good recently?
Nothing too extraordinary. A few things here or there, but Mostly just doing some trading for some of the amenities to keep my patrons happy.
Hmm. What kind of stuff are we talking here exactly? Like what's the last thing you got?
He turns around and pulls a like a bigger bottle off the shelf, sets it down in front of you. I went and did some traveling, some trading to get some more of this. Just one of the things that I added to your friends. And he points over towards Elladan, who's now like just almost catatonic. Drink earlier.
And what is in here exactly?
It's just a few plant mixtures, some things that I got from Elriel and one of my friends and compatriots over there.
Hmm. Do you do any trading with caravans or anything?
Not usually. Every now and then, if I come across one in my travels, or if somebody comes into town that has some interesting products, I might take a look, but occasionally. But very, very few and far between.
Interesting. Very well.
Why do you ask? You seem very interested by this.
Well, I was looking to maybe while I was here trade some myself, and I wasn't sure what the landscape was like, or that's kind of what I was asking. What your most popular product was. I was maybe going to take some off your hands and take it with me out on the road and see if I could, make a little money myself. It seems like you have a pretty good business going here.
It's not too terrible. I also get to make people happy, which I can't complain about,
I mean, I'm all for making people happy, so I mean, maybe we could arrange something.
I'd be interested to hear a proposition.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, let me think about it a little bit. I don't want to put any of my friends in a situation here, so I'd have to talk it over with them.
Certainly. I mean, you know where we are. I'm not going anywhere.
Question: what does this what's the layout of this area? Is there like a back room for him behind the
It
shelf?
definitely seems like there's more to the under part of this that kind of goes off, but it is behind the bar.
Okay. The stairs that we came down, is that more like a hallway, or is it just like...
It's like it's not really much of a hallway. The stairwell ends and it opens up into this room.
Okay. All right. That's all I wanted to know. Just wanted to get a better understanding.
No, for sure. Yeah, it's a relatively lower ceiling compared to some of the other buildings. Mostly just a big carved out square where the tables and the bar kind of set off to the side. And then, just like I said, some of the room that kind of ends, like goes back a little bit further, which you can't really see into very much. You can see that there's a little hallway, and it looks like it opens up into another room back there, but you can't really see much of it.
Okay. So I would have been in while I'm in the booth, and while it appears like I'm like taking a rest, I'm actually just from under my cap surveying the area and just trying to get an understanding as best I can.
For sure.
Because I'm listening to the conversation, I'm hearing where it's going, and up until that point, I didn't know Orlo was going to, end it there. But just so I was ready.
Absolutely.
Sir.
Yes, ma'am.
How is it that you're able to change shapes that way?
Assume very much in the same way that you do.
You're a changeling?
Have been my entire life.
She's just gonna I'll nod and tears will I'm not crying, but my eyes well up a little bit, and I'm just gonna take a big gulp of mead.
Seems like you haven't seen too many other ones.
No, actually, just me and my my family disowned me for it.
It's very unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. And he pours another mead and slides it over towards you. On me. So you guys are definitely new in town. I haven't seen you around. You haven't been here before. And clearly, and he looks at Orlo and Elladan, you have some interest in what I provide. So,
I mean, just a passing interest, I would say.
And I'm just staring off into somewhere saying, maybe a little.
and you are, you guys have been sitting down here for a little while. So Orlo, you're definitely fine. You're feeling a lot better, honestly, in terms of being sore. And Elladan, you're starting to become a little bit more aware, a little bit more cognizant of your surroundings. You can kind of feel reality a little bit more.
Yeah, whatever you had is doing the trick. This is exactly what I needed.
Do my best.
Like, I saw 6 elephants.
And he just kind of like leans back onto the bar and he's, so what is it that brought you guys here? You like I said, you're definitely not from around here, and unless you're extremely wealthy, you're definitely not from around here. And he looks down at not only Flo, but at Laya and her rapier that she carries.
I'm not part of this conversation. I'm just listening.
Yeah, definitely not from around here. Only been here for maybe day, 2 days. Just trying to figure things out. We kind of came in from pretty far away. So everything here is kind of new to us. It looks pretty ravaged around here.
Certainly is.
Do you know why that is?
The world of the magic users, all of those high and mighty people who think that they had control over what they were doing, took things a little bit too far and tried to overstep their boundaries. And they did. And he kind of broadly, vaguely gestures. This is what happened because of it.
What happened to those people now?
Well, most of them, I assume, are dead. I know those who make their home at Brackrock are magic users of sorts, but I don't know where their allegiances lie or what they are part of.
Do you know what the boundaries that they broke?
Oh, I'm not particularly, and he kind of like waves his fingers, magical in nature, but I know that whatever happened, there was a massive explosion and it decimated everything between just the explosion itself and what it caused to happen, between the earthquakes and the flooding and the lava and all of it. If you have ever made your way to El Riel, I'm not sure where you're from exactly, but the place is just a giant forest at this point. Literally giant. It's absolutely incredible.
I've been telling these guys that I wanted to go to El Riel this entire time, so this is definitely somewhere I would like to go.
It's definitely an interesting place, that's for sure.
Is there anything we should watch out for there? Should we make our way down there?
I mean, while you're there, I would probably watch out for everything. But
Is there anything we should take with us to protect ourselves?
Provided you stay in the city, I wouldn't say there's much of a threat. I would always be cautious, but from what you had said, you can probably handle yourselves.
Definitely not too shabby at that.
But again, I have been to Gilberg, I've been to Elriel, I've been to Brackar Court itself, but I try to avoid that. I try to travel to as many places as safe. None of it's safe, I suppose that's a dumb statement, but you know what I'm saying.
True. Well then, when are you hiding, like, other than the obvious reasons? Is there a reason, like, guards shouldn't know about this place? Just look, we came in here, there was a caravan outside. I'm just gonna, you seem all right. There was a caravan outside. And they said you stole something from them, but you seem pretty all right, and they seem pretty not all right. I sniffed inside drunk. I sniffed inside their caravan, and it did not smell right. The guards weren't letting them in. Did you happen? I mean, I'm out of it. I don't have any stake in this, but did you happen to take something from them?
He kind of cracks a small smile, and you see him turn around, and he kind of looks. He looks like he's kind of like looking across the shelves, and he grabs something, pulls it down, and he kind of opens it up, and he goes, "Did it happen to smell like this?"
And I'm going to take a sniff. And
it very much does.
And it just kind of like knocks me. Yep, that's the stuff.
Awful, isn't it?
Yeah, quite.
Well, the truth of it is this. I may have ended up with procuring a little bit extra of a product that I needed, but it wasn't in malice, and it wasn't intentionally trying to steal things. It was more of a necessity.
A necessity?
Yes. But you see, as I am sure you noticed, that wonderful gentleman and the crew that he travels with, not the kind of people that you want to be on the wrong side of, right?
I mean, that's kind of what it seemed like to me.
Well, I ended up on the wrong side of them because they took some things from a caravan that was not theirs, that belonged to me, and they didn't seem to think that that was that big of a deal. Well, I did. So I gathered them back.
And would you say you gathered a little bit extra during this?
Maybe a bit, yes.
I like the way you think.
He kind of cracks a smile and he goes, "Well, I'm glad."
You do what you can to protect your own.
I do my best. I feel that The world is as much of a disaster as it is, and I try to be a voice of moderation to an extent.
And then I just kind of perk up and I just kind of lean over and look where Flo is. Hey Flo, found Pace, and he doesn't seem like such a bad guy. And we found what the people at the caravan wanted, and
See Flo.
and yeah, I really don't think it's that big of a deal. I think the mystery's solved. At least this part of it.
It sounds like a petty squabble. It's not worth us getting involved. But I do. What is it that was taken?
Are you asking Orlo or are you asking Eric?
It's. I guess I'll direct it to Eric.
Okay. He kind of looks down and gestures at the bottle that he has sitting in front of him. It is just some pungent ingredients that I use for some of my concoctions.
Seaflow, just ingredients.
Wow. I don't understand why they were so insistent that we would want it ourselves, but after seeing and looks between Orlo and Elladan, maybe they might have been right.
I mean, these guys can whip up some good stuff, and this is part of that. I can definitely see why they would want that. Pace, Eric, do you, by any chance, I'm just throwing this out there, do you need those guys taken care of for you? Because, like, you gave me and Elladan a pretty good time, and if you're the source of the other good time that we had earlier on today, I mean, it's the least I could do. If you're traveling, I don't want these guys bothering you.
I wouldn't want you to go out of your way, but I also definitely would not be amiss. But at the same time, I don't know if they're here, they're outside the walls. Might not be the safest decision for you.
I'm just saying, if in our travels, if we happen upon them, maybe we take care of them for you.
If it becomes a passing situation and it happens to end up that way, I wouldn't say I would be sad.
Yes. Well, if we happen upon them, is there anything that you would want as, evidence that we've taken care of them? I mean, anything we could retrieve from them for you?
If you have the ability to just bring me some of the materials that they had, I will gladly put them to good use, and I'll most certainly pay you for them.
Can do.
I have a question.
Yes.
What does Eric look like?
I'm surprised you haven't asked. I was waiting this whole time.
Or rather, what does his human form look like?
He has actually very elf-like features. He has very fair skin. He's relatively tall. Not as tall as Flo or Orlo, but he's probably, or even Elladan for that matter. probably almost 6 feet. Shorter, like dirty blonde hair. Very, very light blue eyes. Just very, I mean, a pretty attractive looking man for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Anytime. And so he kind of stops for a moment, looks at your drink, looks at the two of you, and goes, "Well, anyway, is there anything else that I can help you with? I'm glad you guys made it in. It was certainly unexpected, but I like where this is going. Now that I think about it,
And Laya's just gonna be like continuously sipping her meat at this point.
if you do happen to make it back this way at any point in the future, make sure you stop in and see me. I might have something for you."
Hey, and we might have something for you.
I mean, that's very fair. But
So Eric, what do we owe you for our visit today?
your friendship is more than enough for me right now. It has been very fortuitous that we have met. So I'll leave it at that.
See, Flo, our shenanigans find us good things.
And he pauses for a moment and goes, "Do you all have a place that you're staying this evening?"
No.
No, we hadn't really figured out where there is to stay here, actually.
It's been a busy day.
Well, you already made it to one of our lovely establishments that provides some form of housing, I suppose, if you will. Between the Blind Boar, the Creaking Tusk usually has a few rooms, but most people keep those pretty busy. And then there's the Amber Bugbear, but that place is a disaster, and I don't recommend it. But if you need a place to stay, I can most certainly help you with that.
That sounds appealing.
That would be lovely. Thank you.
Sounds good.
Flo. Uh, Whenever you conclude your business this evening, come back here. I will make sure that you have a very nice place to stay this evening.
We would very much appreciate that.
Well, then, I have some things that I need to attend to. This gentleman here, and as you guys have been talking, there's another guy that came in, points over to him, just looks like maybe a half elf, human, human elf, kind of fair skin, longer hair, dark complexion. A little bit shorter than Eric is. And he points over to him. He says, "This fine gentleman here will most certainly be able to assist you. And until then, I will see you this evening. And if there's anything else you need, he'll take care of you. So have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you then.
Thank you, Eric.
Anytime."
And I just nod as he walks away.
So, with that, is there anything else you guys need to do? I know Flo probably wants to go pick up his equipment, but is there anything else you want to do in the city this evening?
No.
Okay.
Sure, you guys don't want another drink? Go running through the reservoir.
Don't give us ideas. Don't give us ideas.
Don't give us ideas.
That's dangerous.
That's dangerous.